Hi everyone, hope you're well. Today we've had some rain and cooler temperatures after a rather warm week. So today I thought we'll stay inside and I'll show you how I pot on my caladiums, and I'll also show you my new plant purchases. So my first plants I bought from a famous DIY store in the UK are these cordyline kiwi. They are houseplants usually. You can see the fantastic coloration and stripes on the leaf. They're from Hawaii or Pacific Islands in the wild, and what I'll do, I'll acclimatise these in my conservatory, gradually expose them to a bit more light before putting them outside for the summer, just so that they don't burn in the sunshine. And as you can see, if we have a look outside, you'll see I've already got some in the rain by the tiki bar. I've got 3 different cultivars there. One is rumba, one is mamba, and the other one is unknown. But you may have seen my video last week of my tiki bar dressed up. Obviously I've had to move some of the more lightweight stuff out of the rain for today, but this rain is very welcome across the garden. Everything's going to grow really well. So yesterday I visited the fantastic Desert to Jungle for the first time, and you can see I've got some fantastic plants from there. So first up is the Colocasia coal miner, which is an elephant's ear. They love lots of food and water, so I've kept it in a saucer in my conservatory. I'll grow it on a little bit until it's bigger before putting it outside. Next is a small tree, a Albizia julibryson. It has gorgeous fern-like foliage and also gorgeous pink pom-pom flowers in the summertime. So it's a very, very exotic looking tree. It is deciduous, but it's a different leaf shape to what I've got from many plants in my garden. Next is the very rare cordyline indivisa. Very difficult to grow in the UK. Apparently it likes to be well watered at all times, but also well drained, and it doesn't like being in a pot for too long. So I will either put it in a very, very large pot or plant it in the ground. Trouble is it's not reliably hardy, so I think I might put it in just a really large pot. And then finally I got my fantastic, which has been on my wish list for a long time, Brassioopsis mitis. It's a member of the Araliaceae family, or the ivy family, and you can see these gorgeous, almost snowflake shaped leaves. Beautiful thing. And at the bottom of the stem you can see it's quite spiky to protect it from being eaten in the wild. This is a really, really choice shrub for the UK, good for a semi-shaded position. It's reputedly going to grow to up to 5 metres in height, and it can tolerate temperatures down to -10, I'm told, but it's quite new to cultivation in the UK, so it's very expensive, and well, just have to see. I might even propagate it later on to ensure that I have a backup plant. So next I got a yellow bougainvillea, which is quite unusual to see in the UK. In many warm countries they're in a whole wide range of colours. This I got from a famous discount store in the UK, and I also got a fantastic red one, which is absolutely fantastic, as you can see. Great in this pot. They're both unnamed, but I'm not fussed about that. I'll grow them in my conservatory, although I am tempted to try and acclimatise them with more and more light, gradually exposing more sunshine on it before possibly trying them outside. I've tried doing this in the past and I found that they can scorch quite easily, but I might give it a go again, especially when they're not in flower. So you may not know that bougainvilleas are actually from South America in the wild, and not the Mediterranean, as most people think. They were widely distributed around the Mediterranean and other warm countries around the world from the 1700s onwards. But the flowers are absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? In fact, the flowers are actually the creamy white bit in the centre. And many millions of years ago, these colourful bracts or modified leaves were actually green, and over millions of years have evolved to change colour so that pollinators can find those creamy flowers easier. And I think these are probably pollinated by either moths or hummingbirds perhaps in the wild. But obviously many people have seen them on the holidays, climbing up houses in the Mediterranean. If anyone could do that in the UK. So finally, I've got my Hibiscus Rosa sinensis Petite Orange. Absolutely stunning flowers, orange with a red centre. They're quite small flowers for a hibiscus. I've never seen them this small, to be honest, but you get lots and lots of them over a compact plant. Plenty of buds, as you can see. Last night there was no flowers open, but today I have 3. So very floriferous, and obviously I'll pop that on. And again, if I acclimatise it well, I should be able to place it outside for the summer. So as you can see, my caladiums are literally bursting out of my propagator now, so definitely time to pop them on. Because they've got a good range here. I've also got a lovely Alocasia odora. So yeah, time to pop them on. Okay, so I've taken out the propagator just so we can see what we've got. So the Alocasia odora is here, one of the elephant's ears. So that's growing really strongly. You can see the roots are bursting out of the pot almost, and the new leaf. So yeah, I'll definitely be putting that on today. The Caladiums, or also known as angel wings, are very tropical plants, very, very delicate. The leaves are very, very thin and delicate. And obviously can't put those in full sun, they will burn in the sun. And in the UK we wait until June before we actually put them out because our nights are too cool before then. So I could possibly put these outside, but being as they've been in a propagator 30 degrees centigrade, I'm going to put them in my conservatory in the shade first of all to acclimatise them. I may risk 1 or 2 outside, but then again I might keep them inside. I'm not sure at the moment. This one here is called Festivia. This one's new to me. It's done really well, as you can see. And I did pop these up in March. They were very, very slow to start, but now they've come on really well. I've got a tiny one here which is struggling a little bit. I did buy it last year. It's called Fanny Munson. It's quite similar to that this Festivia, but it's a bit darker, pinky red. I will pot it on though, probably just replace the compost because the compost is quite old and starved. I've also got one called Rosebud. It's a bit slower than the others, but I will pot it on. They are hungry plants, so this has probably got no food left in it, so I need to get that potted on straight away. This one is called, let's have a look here, Spring Fling. What a fantastic name. So quite similar to the Festivia, but a much stronger growing plant by the looks. This one's new for me this year. I've then got the fantastic Candidum. I grew this last year. Absolutely stunning white leaves, as you can see. And caladiums are often quite translucent. So sometimes you can actually see, yeah, you can see my hand underneath that, which is incredible, isn't it? Amazing. And finally, I have White Christmas, which is very similar to Candidum. So let's go. So first up, I'm going to pot on this Alocasia odora. I've got a pot for it, so as you can see, quite a bit bigger. These are all greedy plants, so they will like a lot of compost, food and water and heat and sun actually to get them going. So I'm just going to put some compost in the bottom, of course. This is just multi-purpose compost. I know a lot of people add bark and perlite and vermiculite and all sorts, but I just use nice cheap multi-purpose compost, and I'm just careful with the watering. So they do like a lot of moisture, but it's important to let it dry slightly in between waterings. As you can see, I've got a fantastic root system here, so I will just tease them apart a bit. So you can either use your fingers or you can slice it with your plant label. So obviously I'm just teasing these roots out, just so that they don't keep spiraling around themselves and going round in circles, to enable them to get out into that new compost. So pop that as in. It's a little bit low, so I'm just going to put a bit more compost in there just to raise it up. And what you're aiming for really is to have the top of this compost in between this here and the top rim. So that's about spot on. So fill that up with compost all the way to the top. I'm not firming it at this point, just leaving it loose. I'll then level it off and then push it round, all the way round. Get rid of some of those air spaces. Give it a few taps. And then you can see there now, that's the perfect level for potting on, which is great. Obviously I put the label in before moving on. Now I don't add in any food to the compost. There's 4 to 6 weeks worth of food in this compost, but I will feed it later on with a bit of blood fish and bone and pelleted chicken manure and also seaweed, because they are very greedy plants. So next up I'm going to pot on this Caladium candidum. So just take this out of the pot. Again, fantastic root system, as you can see. Just give them a bit of a tease. And I'm going to put this one in this size pot, so it is quite a bit bigger, but I'll give them a good watering and then allow them to dry out before giving them the next water to prevent rotting. They do like moisture, but they also like to be well drained. So that's about right. It instantly makes the plant look so much bigger, doesn't it? It's going to look absolutely superb. And of course now we've got the warmer weather, they're going to grow really quickly and have that real tropical look that I'm aiming for. So I've done this one exactly like I just did the alocasia, and you can see the gorgeous foliage, and they've just got a tiny splash of pink just in that there on each leaf, which is beautiful. Okay, so I've potted them all up. Don't they look great? They look so much bigger in the new pots. Absolutely great. So I can put those in my conservatory now. Give them a water first of all. But the weaker one here, the Fanny Munson, is quite weak, so I'll put that back in the propagator for a couple of weeks. But now it's got new food in the compost, it will get away quite quickly. Thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you next week when I'll be planting up containers and hanging baskets. See you then, bye.